So we were just meeting with State Farm guys. We walked around and looked at everything. He's kind of like, oh, okay. And then he's looking at everything on the walls with the sheathing, the moisture barrier being out. And he's like, that falls on the mitigation company. Shouldn't have tore that out. Well, scope work now, we don't have a moisture barrier is the first part.
Because they removed it?
They broke through it whenever they were tearing out the water damaged items behind the wall. So they go through the insulation in the wall, then there's the styrofoam backing behind the wall, and then we have the moisture barrier, which it looks like the moisture barrier was in front of first, and then the styrofoam. That's what it looks like was there, and it's kind of backwards. You should see the upstairs. It's got on the inside behind the sheetrock, it has moisture barrier on both sides. It traps it in. So now the brick has nothing really holding it in place. It's just sitting there on its own.
The brick has all your brake ties are gone. They've rotted to the point that
there's a few here and there.
Yeah, you have maybe a few. If you look on the back, there's nothing connecting that brick to that stud.
If you can see the brick from the inside of the house, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So, and he asked about the plywood being on the corners of the house, and I explained to him that's just to tie in.
That's how they did.
Yeah.
When they built this house, they were able to pass code by just doing sheathing on the corners, and then doing that vapor barrier along with the foam.
Right.
But they did do it backwards as well. So, but then once they opened up and saw all of this, then it tied in with all the problems that you have here.
Yeah, and he's saying that's not included in the insurance repairs. And we got new leaks that have happened since we''t been waiting on them to close up the house. And we got mold little starting to grow on that, and fireplace there is starting to get some leaks. So this room originally, you can tell it had some windows right through here. The windows were blown in from the storm. All the rain, the water came flooding in. All the interior carpet, the roof was blown off, so the water came in down the walls, which totaled out this whole wall. Had vinyl siding on before without any type of plywood structure behind it, just had styrofoam boarding. So in order to attach the vinyl now, we're putting the plywood siding on with the house wrap behind it. You can see the old insulation in the walls, how it was actually, when they built the house in 82, I believe it was, they had actually used, looks like almost a 90-pound felt, or it has no way of breathing. There's no moisture holes, there's no perforation, and any moisture trapped in those walls in a storm like this makes it even worse, because that is not going to dry out until you open it up. It's just a sponge trapped behind drywall. And some of these things, like the old windows that were taken out of the house in order to put the new siding on, if we put these old windows back on, they no longer meet that code. If these windows were able to stay in, it wouldn't have been an inspection requirement. So since they come out, they can't go back in. That kind of is a thread that unravels the whole house and makes the claims. When the homeowner first gets the claim, they see it's $40,000, and we start getting into the siding's not on the proper backing, windows aren't right, insulation's not correct, then you end up with a $120,000 claim. This house started at the beginning of the storm, probably September 15th. It was about the time that we actually met the adjuster originally and got the paperwork started and did the inspection initially. And the damage has just grown since we initially met. This is State Farm's here now. This is the third time they've been out to this property.
How big is the claim now, dollar amount?
The original claim was around 48,000, and we're currently now up to 160,000.
Approved?
Not approved yet. That's why he's here. So we're waiting to see the outcome.